name is Shaïna Silva. I'm an ecosystem architect and digital transformation strategist. I've been involved in building innovation ecosystems in emerging markets for the greater part of my career and had the opportunity to live and work across Europe, Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean, which has given me an incredible perspective on social, economic, and environmental shifts that are impacting our lives. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, artists, and philanthropists. So, from a very young age, I've developed an interest in building businesses, telling stories, creating art, and making an impact in my community. As a native of Haiti, the conversation around the progress for this country is extremely important to me, which is why I've teamed up with my father to create this podcast and talk about the current situation in Haiti today and how we can place Haiti in the global context of what's happening in the world in terms of challenges and project by 2040 what Haiti could look like if we had certain things in place in terms of an aspirational vision for the country's prosperity. So I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce my father, my co-host, for you to share a little bit about your background and what you've done.
Thank you, Shaina. My name is Daniel Silva. I say hi to your audience and congratulations on this podcast. It seems to have attracted lots of interest of sort, so that's a good thing. And you're helping at educating the diaspora at large about Haiti and some of the challenges and how they can contribute to resolving and contribute to the development of the country in different ways of sort. So, as Daniel Silva, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've a career of 30 years in business. My background is in information technology and business administration, but I've had to take classes and training in different other sectors, including statistical computing, project management, and have worked in different places as consultant or as an entrepreneur inside my own organization. And as a consultant, eventually I can say that we've worked at the Statistical Institute of Haiti. So I have a sense of how they collect and track information.
Data.
Yes, we've had a chance to work for a good 4 or 5 years at the Ministry of Health and Population, which caught my interest in demographic analysis, in understanding the population growth, because that was part of my responsibility at that time. We are talking about the late 80s. I worked for the Ministry of Interior, so understood the territorial collectivities, the municipalities and their challenges and the roads, the issues with infrastructure, urbanization, etc. And here in the United States, I've had a chance as an entrepreneur to provide contracting services to the federal government, both on the civilian side and the civilian and military side.
Brilliant. So you have quite a bit of experience working alongside government in Haiti and the United States, but you also have had a little bit of exposure to what's happening in Africa as well, right?
Yes, in fact, I have ventures in Africa, particularly Guinea, and I've explored doing business in Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Ethiopia, and those are places that I've actually visited, made some contacts, and we are pursuing some business ventures there.
Brilliant. Which is great because a lot of what we'll be talking about in this podcast is very much focused on Haiti, but can be applied to other emerging markets like Nigeria, like Guinea, like Ethiopia, who have faced similar challenges as Haiti in terms of economic, social, environmental development. So you'll be bringing in that perspective, that global perspective.
Sure.
You've also worked in the U.S., you've been to Europe, you've studied in Europe.
Yes.
So you can also bring the perspective of how a developed economy has structured themselves to flourish as well, and add some parallel insights there. So our podcast is called Haiti Prosperity. We are targeting primarily the Haitian diaspora who is curious about the future of Haiti and who wants to better understand the challenges that we currently face and the opportunities that we can tap into to really participate in the future of the country. Is there anything that you would like to add, Dad, in terms of how we will be steering this conversation and unfolding the insights that we want to share with our community?
Okay. Well, when you are talking about a country in general, you are talking about the people living in that country or that have some form of relationship with that particular country, and you are looking at the land, the territory. So the people, the territory, and which together create the culture, the patrimony, what the social fabric of that country, and that's what constitutes a culture of sort. So if you are talking about people, you have to talk about demography, meaning the structure of those, the demographic makeup of that place, the age groupings, to have a sense of what the future looks like.
Who are your people?
Yes. Are they aging, or is that a very young population? Because depending
can they work? Can they not work?
Productivity to the future, the level of energy that you can find within such country, and also the need for services. So as you look at your population growth, you have to be able to project the level of service that will be needed when time comes to serve that set
of quality of life.
Exactly. And once you talk about demography, you get into human development. So education, healthcare, skills development, art, those are all part of, as you look at demography, you have to, in a certain way, prepare for that population. Another thing to look at as you are analyzing a country's future is environment. Outside of the people, but the territory itself,
the land,
the way
ocean,
that it's being designed for resiliency and
environmental impacts.
Environmental impacts, things of that nature. So the environment is extremely important as you look at the future of your country. And of course, economics. Nowadays, countries are very competitive for natural resources in order for them to participate in this global supply chain and value chain. So both in terms of the mining industry and the oil and other rare earth materials, those need to be inventoried so that the country can prioritize the level of exploitation while respecting environmental impact on each of those projects, because those would give natural funding to take care of education.
Your fundamental assets. After the people assets, you have your own earth giving you resources.
The capacity to grow and to compete. So environmental issues and economics go hand in hand. And of course, technology now is impacting everything that humankind does, including that within the next 20 years we'll be inserting chips into our brain to operate,
complement our intelligence.
Our intelligence and sort of augment some of the
human capabilities
that we can do. And not only on that side, as far as biotechnology and information technology, but you also have the robotics that's coming extremely fast, and they are able to perform certain sophisticated tasks, including in the law sector, in engineering, medicine. So
ultimately replacing some of the human labor,
of the humanly tasks at a relatively sophisticated level, because you know, in order to go through medical school, it takes you several to 8 years. So if you can imagine artificial intelligence sort of replacing or cooperating with people that have studied at that level and even sometimes perform better than humans, those are the kinds of things that we are looking at as far as how you would look at the country in terms of
their future
structure.
Yeah. So you talked about demographics and human development. That's the first one. Yes. Environmental, that's the second one. Economics is the third, and then technological. So we will be in the next couple of episodes exploring different topics within the lens of these three forces. And I'm excited to explore that and look at how we can better position Haiti for more thoughtful, intentional engagement of not just the Haitians in Haiti, but the Haitians across the world, and ultimately using Haiti as a case study for other countries as well.
That's correct. And I'm looking forward to have that exchange with you.
Brilliant.